A lot of people reach me in Instagram and say, sorry to bother you. I don't want to ask you for your secret recipe or a thing like this. I don't care. Just ask me what you want and I will share everything I know about it. That's my favorite thing. If I can help people to make good ash, I'm so happy about it because there's so much trash ash in the market. It's awful. I learned a lot of this with my scientific studies. Knowledge is made to be shared. If you don't share the knowledge, it's just gonna vanish, just disappear. So when you change the pot size, like I have a really interesting pheno of beach truffle from Sin City Seeds that I grew like for 15 liters pots for years. And then I tried it in 7 liters pots and the pheno like go totally different. Like
Yo, what's up everybody? Episode 5 of Legendary Talks, and today we're sitting here with Petit Box. Dude, I can tell a lot about yourself, but I can tell a lot about you, but maybe it's best if you give a little introduction yourself about what you do, who you are.
Yeah.
Tell the people.
It's kind of hard to say who you are, but I would say I'm...
Nobody knows really, right?
Yeah, nobody knows really. It's easier to say that I'm a grower, a breeder maybe, a hash maker, because I'm that type of guy. And I have to say I'm a scientist because I'm a pharmacist too, but all good, scientist. Science guy that loves to learn things and share it back.
I bet that's useful when making hash as well, yeah?
Hmm?
I bet that is a useful skill to have also when making hash.
Yeah,
right?
sure. It's more about really being clean and with your stuff. You want it to be like extra clean, extra perfect.
Yeah.
That's a good point that you learn with some scientific background, because a lot of people just make hash to make hash, and people want to just make it perfectly extra perfect.
Yeah, that makes sense. But now maybe we jumped a little bit ahead. What was your first experience with our favorite plant? Do you remember that?
Depends. The first experience with smoking was like in the beginning of the high school, like when I was 15 maybe. I just met one of my friends, brother friends, which was like a guy that's selling a lot of so he just made me smoke, and this guy had honestly a lot of really crazy flowers, so I directly
started with quality.
Directly in quality, so that was really nice. And my first plant that I just grew was maybe when I was 18, so 8 to 9 years ago.
Nice.
In my girlfriend's closet back in the days.
Oh,
so
lovely,
really
man.
an autoflower, full autoflower from White Label, I think was Snow Rider automatic.
Okay.
I didn't even know about growing that this time. I didn't even know what autoflower was. I was like, okay, maybe autoflowers is plant that grow flowers, so I need to take this. But was an awful plant, but was like the beginning of a huge love story.
Okay, I was going to ask you, were you happy with the results? But if you say it was an awful plant, then...
because when I look back to this, I'm like, oh yeah, it was an awful plant and a blurb LED panel that I bought like for 30 euros back then. But no, it was really quite good to smoke when it's your first plant. And nobody around me was growing, so... To me, it was like, oh, it's some nice flowers. Of course, it stretched a lot, like it touched even the LED panels. But I just smoke everything. And
you didn't even share with your girlfriend or what?
Oh, of course I do. I do. And
this
even with my friends,
that's
the point.
You grow there.
Just share everything with my friends. I don't want to make... of course, I can't make even money out of it because it was like... Nobody want to buy this, but it was really nice. And then I just started growing more plants, and just go more and more. But I was small scale grower for a very long time. I'm still actually. So, started with a 40 on 40 centimeters box. Really, that's why I'm called Petite box actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Petite box, like small box, because it was like 40 centimeters. So it all started like this.
Crazy, man. And that was already with LEDs. And we're talking about 10 years ago, approximately?
Yeah, just a bit less than 10 years ago.
And you were already happy with the results that you were getting with the lights back then?
Yeah, but it was like a lit panel, so not that much.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It was really the beginning of the.
It was good enough, basically,
LED.
to start with, yeah?
No, it wasn't. No,
Okay,
it wasn't.
okay.
Honestly, it wasn't. But it was like 30 euros LED panel that I got from. I don't know. I was just wondering.
It's very cheap
I
also,
saw
yeah.
like people growing with LEDs, people with HPS. I was like, HPS is too big for a small tent, so I take a LED panel to get some more space. And it grew quite good. Even for my second grow, that was like in 60 on 60 centimeters. I put like 4 of these panels back to back, and it grew quite good.
Okay.
But
And how many watts are we talking then? Any idea?
It was not even the same power outage. Like one was like I think 30 watts, one was like 50 watts, and 2 was like 25 or something like this.
I have to start somewhere, I guess, then, right?
Yeah, sure. I didn't have anybody that grew around me at this time, so I just learned all by myself, just checking on internet. And
But is it also fair to say then that you never grew with HPS or high pressure lights, always LEDs?
I never ever grew with HPS.
Interesting, yeah.
I have a lot of friends now that still grow with HPS, but I was never interested by growing like this. LEDs to me is easier to handle for temperatures, for everything like this too. Of course, it's a bit pricier, but all good.
Yeah, technology was a little bit lacking still when you started, right? But it definitely caught up, so nothing to say about that. But what I am curious about then, you're still working with LEDs, we're talking about indoor grow. I also know that you grew outdoors.
Yeah.
We can get into that a little bit more later, but what I'm curious about is, do you have any feelings or any thoughts about the difference between artificial light and sunlight for the plants?
Sure. Like I think every guy that just grew the bows, like for outdoors and indoors, know that sunlight is better, much better for everything. Like, I mean, the spectrum is made for this.
Right.
Like, plants grow on the sunlight from the beginning. Like sunlight is made for plants. Of course, you can mimic with LEDs, with everything, but lights always lack of something.
Yeah. But I don't suppose you, like, because I'm pretty sure that outdoor you grew the same phenos that you grew indoor, right?
Exactly.
So you must have seen a different type of expression of the plants that you knew quite well already, right? That you breed yourself, like. So I'm curious, like, can you put your finger on, like, okay, this I get a little bit more of this or a little bit more of this with the
always more terpenes outside.
Yeah,
always.
just
even when I
also
was
more
growing
complex
back
or
then,
just stronger?
More pungent, and of course more trichomes productions. Always, it's always like this. But if you have really good indoor setup, you can have something close. But of course, it depends for the outdoors. It depends on the weather. Like sometimes you have a bad season outdoor, so your plants don't grow that big and even don't produce that much. And of course, it depends of the way you're growing, because I don't grow indoor the same as outdoor. I'm like full living soil for outdoors, and for indoors, I'm like regular organic fertilizers. So there, at this point, already a lot of difference.
But just to go into it again, did you notice was there any plants that you had outdoors that you were like, whoa, this smell, like I almost don't recognize it, or it's really different from what I have indoors, or is it really still quite similar, but just indeed?
It's always quite similar.
Okay,
There are not a lot of phenos that just went from something totally different. The only difference I saw with this kind of really different from the same pheno was for still indoor to indoor, like when you change the pot size. Like I have a really interesting pheno of beach truffle from Sin City Seeds that I grew like in 15 liters pots for years. And then I tried it in 7 liters pots, and the pheno like go totally different. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, really. And on the same fertilizers, same everything, same lights, only the pot size.
And you're not talking just about the plant structure. You're talking about the flower, the
Yeah,
terpenes, the whole thing.
the resin production
Yeah.
and the plant structure, like for the buds.
Interesting.
The buds are on the 15 liters. The buds are really like massive, big colors, like all around, with less trichomes production than the 7 liters. 7 liters go really like quite small nugs, but covered of trichomes. So
Interesting.
really better for ash making actually. So that's why I grow this one on 7 liters now, because it's like so better for hash making.
Yeah. So that also means that there is a different way. Like if you're growing for flower or growing for hash, you're growing in a different way. And
Exactly. I think, but
we just had like one example, but are there more examples of how you grow differently indeed when it's for hash than compared to growing for flower?
yeah, actually I don't grow for flowers, so I don't want to say that this way is better or this way is better.
Okay.
I just saw that the 7 liters for me indoor, it's better to make hash for me in my installation. So
Yeah.
I just keep on doing this way, but I don't want to say that this is the best way.
Sure. This
7
works for you,
liters is better.
what works
It
for other
works for
people,
me.
yeah.
Of course, I will be happy to say it's a better way, or just have proof to say it. But I'm a scientific guy, so I need proof from different peers. I can just
like
say I do it, so it's the way.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That's fair. So then talking about the way you do things, how are you growing? Like when we're talking about indoors, like what does your setup look like? How do you grow?
Indoors, I'm going like I have like 3 rooms. When I say rooms, I don't say like big
3 petit boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can say for people it's like medium boxes. For other people it's like really small boxes. But
Okay.
yeah, I have three rooms boxes. So one for the mother plants, one for the veg, and one for the flowers. For a long time I had like 1 veg, 2 flowers, but since I have now a bit too much of mother plants, I just don't have enough space for a 4th room that can handle the mother plants and the
Not
veg plus
yet.
2 flowers. Not yet. Not yet. Soon maybe. But yeah, now 1 big flower room, 1 pheno hunt room when I start pheno hunt, because it's a lot of the work. I make a lot of pheno hunts, even for breeding and so, and 1 for the mother rooms. Yes.
And you're all on soil, I think,
All
right?
soil. I never even tried hydroponics or thing like this. I was always like convinced that soil is better. Of course, you can see like proof that hydroponics can go quicker, can go bigger, but I'm not looking for bigger or quicker. I'm looking for quality.
Yeah.
And in my opinion and in my experience, soil is better for this.
Yeah.
And even with, you can see the difference between like real outdoor soil, like full soil, and indoor soil that you bought, that you fertilize, but it's still like a good point.
Yeah.
Because the point is always comfort too, because I grew for now almost 10 years. I grew so a lot of different soil, different way, big pots, small pots, living soil indoor, and you have to be comfortable. Like your back hurts if you take too much time just sleeping around the plants. So yeah, small pots, and yeah, soil, just classic soil with fertilizer indoor.
Because the jump to the smaller pots, like you had with the strain that you were just talking about, that's something that you rolled out over all your genetics also, that you went to generally more small pots now?
Now I go 7 liters pots for all my plants for production of then hash making, of course, because I transform all my flowers to hash now.
Yeah.
But back then I started with 11 liters back in the days, then go 15 liters. And when I saw the difference on 7 liters,
Yeah.
I put everything in 7 liters, and now it fits better because 7 liter pots can go really quite good in my growing space, so I'm go 7 liters for everything.
And when you go 7 liter pots, you also put more pots in the same space, or you
Yeah.
keep. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
and from 7 to 15, so from 15 to 7. So instead of making like one plant, I make 3 with 7, and it quite fits well. It depends on what I want to produce on the next batch. So
Yeah, fair. So, and what about nutrients? Because I know that you are working with Plagron nutrients,
yeah,
but
sure.
you tried some different stuff as well, right?
Yeah, actually, I started with Plagron 10 years ago. It was like a Plagron Terra Grow, Terra,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
the
yeah.
Terra line was like quite was good. It was good, but I always wanted to go like organic, the more natural way. I know it's a bit something different, but I wanted to go organic quite fast. So I went quite fast to organic with Plagron. Then when I move out in another country, I started trying some other brands, some quite good, some less good. And few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I think, I tried.
We can bleep it, yeah. It doesn't matter.
J'ai pas le droit.
Yeah, you tried something else, yeah.
Yeah, I tried so. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is an interesting story indeed, because you tried that, and I think your results were quite
Yeah.
similar, but also not, right?
Yeah, because I was organic for a long time, and then I went to organic mineral, like
A
a
mix, yeah.
mixing brand of organic mineral, and I had some loss in my terpenes and resin productions. Was really strange because the terpenes was quite there. I had the feeling that the terpenes was less than the last batch, but the real difference was about yield from ash to rosin. Like I'm making a lot of rosin at this time, and the hash return was the same, no problem. So quite the same amount of trichomes, but the yield from ash to rosin was really different, like from 15 to 20%, and
That is substantial, yeah.
it's substantial. And
You still haven't figured out what it may be, because I know we talked about it before, and I also just like
Yeah,
I also know too little
and
about it.
I don't even like make it once and say it's different. I tried like 3 times.
Yeah.
And 3 times it was less. And then I went back to Playground to try if this is the difference, because I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And when I went back to Playground, the years went back. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, really odd. I hope maybe somebody that sees it has anything smart to say about this, because we would love to figure it out.
Yeah, because I was looking for the reason, like
Right?
even
You want to know why?
even in some papers, even in some like research, but can find nothing. It's hard to say because it's all molecules moving in the plant, so you can say what are going to produce less lipids, less terpenes, less all these.
Yeah, good point.
And another
So
thing,
many variables,
even
so
for
many
the
things.
yield, another thing was the resin quality, like less yield, and the quality was like drier. The resin was drier.
Huh.
Oh, and all the trichomes was more easy to detach, but as the resin is drier. But I don't know. For the rosin was really less wet. I
Yeah.
like my
Yeah,
rosin
yeah.
wet, so I need
And the
this.
wetness is basically the terp sauce in there, right?
Yeah,
Or is it
terps
multiple factors?
and liquids too.
The lipids.
Yeah.
But aren't lipids stripped out a lot out of rosin, or am I just imagining that?
No, there are a lot of lipids stay in the rosin,
Huh,
even if
okay.
you press the ash from the rosin.
Okay.
The extract that get out a lot of lipids is BHO.
Oh, that is okay.
Yeah.
That is BHO that takes out the lipids. I see. Okay, interesting. So now you've been growing for 10 years.
Yeah.
Is there any stuff that you've learned in this 10 years that like you could have only learned with the hands-on experience, and that would have been more difficult to learn in theory? Because like I myself, I were like before I started growing, I think it was 10 years approximately that I just learned a lot about it. But in the time that I've been growing, it's also very different, the stuff that you actually learn and the understanding that you get. Is
Yeah.
there any stuff that jumps out for you?
Yeah, for growing, I think it's all about experience. For growing only, for ash making is even worse. But for growing, like watering the plant, that's the point. Watering the plant. A lot of people you can see on Instagram or everywhere are just over watering the plant. They are like all bad looking, like
Yeah.
just screaming out, save me, don't feed me again." And yeah, people just sometimes like people want to go a bit too much. Like they want big plants. They say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make big pots, so plants are going to grow big." So they put a lot of water. It's make like water, too much water in
Yeah,
the soil,
yeah.
so the plant get just soak.
Yeah, you get lazy roots basically,
Yeah,
right?
lazy roots, and that's the point. Learning how to water properly. Like really, and that's a good point with smaller pots. It's much more easier to handle the dryback because dryback is really, really important, even to uh, optimize your growing. But yeah, it's a really interesting point. You have to learn how to water correctly your plants. Fertilizer is quite easy. You just check the feeding schedule.
Yeah.
You check, you put the good amount of fertilizer, and your plant is going quite good. If you see something on leaves or something like this, you can easily find the answer on internet
Yeah.
that this one is too much potassium, too much everything. But for the water, it's hard to say. For I mean, basically like new growers.
Yeah, it's a good point because indeed, like the nutrients you can measure, you have a value that you can read visually.
Yeah.
With the plants, if there's a deficiency, it's a little bit harder, but then still you can see it. But that's a little bit more difficult when you're.
And this is fun point too. A lot of people just went going growing for, they don't want to put a lot of money on indoor setup, so they don't have pH meter, they don't have EC meter, so
Yep.
they're just going like on blind mode, and the plant is looking awful. Some people have like chance and feel it, so they can go quite good. Like I went without pH meter for years. I had pH meter like only for 4 years, and it was all good. But a lot of people just don't make mix of fertilizer, took like a bottle of this brand, a bottle of this brand, put it all together,
Yeah,
and
then it becomes
so
difficult
you have
indeed.
unstable pH, unstable
Yep.
EC. So
Because that's also the thing. Like generally, I would always recommend indeed measure your pH. But generally, if you have a good nutrient program, if you mix all of your stuff from the schedule in, you should be within a pretty good range with pH already. That's like, for example, with the Plagron alga line, you don't really need to. It's
Yeah.
always better, but you don't really need to do it indeed.
yeah, I have a pH meter, but since I'm back in the Plagron alga line, I don't even measure it anymore.
Yeah, fair.
I just checking the EC, of course, on the runoff, but
Yeah.
otherwise nothing.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking runoff, but on the 7-liter pots with soil, generally I wouldn't like watering soil and getting runoff for me has always been quite a challenge because it just holds so much water. But I guess if you're on a 7-liter pot, then it becomes more manageable to actually
Yeah.
water until you get a drink.
Yeah.
Because
Actually, I just like making, like I water my plant every day, like during flowering, of course, because in veg it's quite different and depends on the phenotype.
Yeah.
But I'm watering every day because I know my keepers, I know how they run, so I'm water a bit every day, and every 10 days to 2 weeks, I'm just watering a bit more to get runoff, try it, and then I know if I have to lower the EC or going up. But yeah, you don't have to check the runoff every day, so because
Yeah,
it's
that makes
really
sense.
annoying. It's really
it's a
annoying.
yeah.
If you don't have like big place that just take back the water. But
Yeah, and it's difficult to get the dryback that you want also if you have to water, especially on soil every time until you get drain indeed. But yeah, that makes sense. Now you did a lot of indoor, you did a lot of outdoor, and we had it about the lessons. We talked about the lessons that you had from indoor, the hands-on experience. But What are for you the biggest differences between indoor and outdoor growing? Like, are there any lessons there that you learned outdoor that you couldn't have learned indoor?
I think outdoor made me learn about the soil diversity. Like I grew outdoor on small pots, on big pots, like living soil that I made in maybe 200 liters pots, and I grow in full soil, like basically
Yeah.
earth,
Just in the dirt, yeah.
just in the dirt. So uh, in directly in fields, you really try to understand how it works because everything, the real living soil is in fields.
Of course, yeah.
Even if you make 200 liters pots on everywhere, it's not really living soil because you don't have contact with all around. That's the point with indoors too. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm making living soil indoor. Yeah, living soil, not that much because you don't. Living soil is not only about the soil web in the pots. It's the nature itself, like
I get what you mean.
birds that just on the floor, animals, everything.
Yeah, you cannot make a perfect copy indoors. Indeed, you can try to emulate it, but you're not going to be able to get all the bacteria. You're not going to be able to get all the little critters
You
and
can
stuff.
try to mimic nature, but you can't equal it. Impossible.
Yeah, that's it.
You can't. Just feel just make you learn how to really understand soil diversity. Like growing in fields is so cool.
So then your favorite way of growing outdoors is also just to have big plants in the full in the dirt, basically, not in a pot.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love to grow indoor because you can have, of course, weed all day, like all time of the year. But outdoors is really nice because you can see the natural expression of the plant. Of course, I say natural expression because some lineage like never saw any kind of outdoor because there was like bred indoor everything for years and years. So.
I would even say most, man.
Yeah,
Probably.
most, yeah. But almost every big lineage nowadays are make indoor facility, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's something that can move on the genetics from growing indoor, but I'm not like convinced of this. But I think some growing indoor for lineage and lineage can affect the phenotypes diversity, but I don't want to say it's too loud because I'm not sure about it. But
I have heard similar things indeed already, like the substrate that the original seeds were grown on, were like the next generation would do better on the same substrate, right?
Yeah, a lot of people or breeders are looking for this. Like they want to make lineage on indoors for a lot of generation to say it's better for this.
Yeah,
it's
been
like
bred for this. Yeah,
it's like growing like new lineage on outdoor, like in cold weather.
They need to a certain couple of generations to adjust.
To learn there how to resist on the cold weather and rain and so on.
Fair. So how about extracts then? At some point you were growing already. Did you start making extracts immediately, or is that something that came later?
No.
How did you get into it?
I started for flowers, and it was flowers for, I would say, years. But I went quite quickly on the extraction side, but directly on the water hash.
And what influenced you to get to
hash makers? I
met other hash makers.
Of course, I saw some videos and like this on Instagram. Instagram helped me a lot. I learned a lot of things out of Instagram and grow as an hash maker, but met directly hash makers and found like really nice hash makers that want to share knowledge. That's the point. I met a French guy years ago that is a good friend of mine now that honestly learned me almost everything I know about rosin making and hash making. Like he's a guy that just wants to share knowledge. He knows a lot about hash making because he making this like for years and years, and he just want to share knowledge. And that's the point.
I like that.
And this guy is really, really nice.
But that is also something that I want to touch on. You're saying he's sharing knowledge. What I see a lot in growing, but I feel like even more in hash making, is that people are gatekeeping a lot of the information, like how they do it and all this stuff. Do you have any feelings about that?
Yeah, a lot of hash makers don't want to share their secret recipe. But honestly, it's just basic hash making recipe that they just make small twist, and they don't want to share like some basic things. I think if you share knowledge, you will get knowledge back.
Right? Yeah.
That's the point. I had a lot of knowledge by hash makers, some from Spain, from everywhere in the world, and in exchange, I need to share the knowledge too. A lot of people reach me on Instagram and say, "Sorry to bother you. I don't want to ask you for your secret recipe or things like this."
Yeah,
and
they're
say,
already very careful indeed, yeah?
yeah, and I was like, I don't care. Just ask me what you want, and I will share everything I know about it. That's my favorite thing. Just share knowledge about hash and making hash.
Yeah.
If I can help people to make good hash, I'm so happy about it because there's so much trash hash in the market. It's awful. Like you can see everywhere, like fake water hash, like awful products that just look like toxic poison, like
Yeah.
for cheap money. So if you share your knowledge about hash making to people, they will make good hash.
Market will only get better from it, yeah?
And if these guys are like making some big scale, it's cool because they're making good hash at scale. We need to share all these knowledge for people to get better. We need to make the hash making just better.
I like that, yeah. But do you understand the people that are gatekeeping information?
Yeah, a bit, just a bit. Not yet, not really, because
What do you think is keeping them? Like, what is...
money.
Yeah.
Money. It's all about money because
They feel like they're gonna lose money indeed when they share their...
it's always like this. And I'm not gonna lie. When I started learn hash making, I was like, I'm starting to be good at this. Should I share this knowledge? And of course, I have to because I got it, so I need to share it. That's the point with knowledge. I learned a lot of this with my scientific studies. Knowledge is made to be shared. If you don't share the knowledge, it's just gonna vanish, just disappear. So, yeah, I think people are just gatekeeping for money because they think if they share the recipe, people are gonna steal it and
like they
making
have
money out of
special.
it.
Yeah.
But even if you share knowledge about hash making, you can still make money out of it if you want to make money out of it.
Yeah, as if you're going to supply all the world.
Yeah,
That's
not
impossible anyway, right?
It's not because you share the way you make hash that everybody is going to make hash like you. Because we talked about it just before. You can still learn something on the paper, but you need to try it. You need to try it, and to make good hash, you need to love it. I saw a lot of hash makers trying, or just growers trying to make hash, and they don't like to make water hash or things like this because, of course, it's
tedious.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's really annoying to make hash in 2 degrees labs. It's cold and your hands are hurting. You're like, At the end of the day, you're really happy to end it, but if you want to make it again the day before, the day after.
Need some passion.
It's your passion. That's the point. I can make hash almost every day, honestly. Maybe take a day off a week to press frozen. But you don't have to gatekeep information. You shouldn't just share your knowledge.
Yeah, I like that, man. I'm of the same thought indeed. Yeah, it always seemed like a weird thing to me because indeed, like you say, like, okay, if it's about money, then like who is taking your money when you actually do share the information? Because I don't see that happening. You're just helping somebody else, and like in any way that you help people, it always comes back to you also. So yeah, I don't see a reason why you would. It's kind of a scarcity mindset, like, oh no, it's well. Anyway, to jump from that. When looking at plants and making hash from them, is there anything particular that you're looking for?
Yeah, trichomes. You can have like, of course, I want some specific structure on buds, but you don't. You just have to look on the trichomes, on the size, on the way they detach from the tail. I don't want to say that in English, but you want the best trichome heads, like good resin structure, sandy trichomes if you can. But if you limit this at sandy trichomes, you can lose some genetics, because some genetics like never give you sandy trichomes that detach easy. So you need to go deeper. If you have the space to grow a lot, you can try like new fragrance, new terpenes that are hard to find on classic washes lineage that you can find everywhere.
Yeah, like a kush, for example. I think you mentioned before is something that doesn't really
Yeah,
isn't a classical washer,
yeah,
right?
for OGs. Like
Yeah.
this year, so we tried a lot of OGs. We washed a lot of OGs, but normally OGs are really awful to wash. Like
Just
for
bad return, or
yeah, the yield you get normally on OGs are bad. I don't have exactly the reason why, but mostly the resin is really sticky, so it's really hard to detach
yeah, yeah.
from the heads. So we we had like a lot of flowers, so we tried to wash it, and it's interesting because you have these like unique terpene profiles that you don't find everywhere in rosin and ash, because
Nobody washes it. Yeah.
nobody want to wash it, of course, because yeah, money is a thing. Money is a thing. If you have enough to wash, it's cool for you, but a lot of people just are making like small batch, so
Yeah.
they can just put a whole room of OG that gonna yield 1% fresh frozen return, and
That's
I mean,
difficult to justify.
yeah, it's difficult to justify. Even if the product is pure fire, you have to manage between yield and quality.
And you were talking before about sandy trichomes. I've heard about this before, and that indeed when a plant has sandy trichomes, I think it's when you touch a plant and you feel it, it's kind of like sandy on
Yeah,
your fingers, right?
and
But
actually,
can you tell more about this? Because I'm not sure how this works exactly. And as I understand from you, also sandy texture trichomes are not the only type of trichomes that you're looking for. Because it's still kind of difficult to work with in a way, and there's different types that also work.
yeah, I don't think there are two types of like sandy, not sandy, but like there are a range of trichomes. You can go even more sandy and sandy. So it's just a way to say it's easy to detach. Some phenols
see.
are just, if you can even just shake them a bit, you can see the trichomes just fall. Like it's crazy. So I think sandy trichomes is a good way to have yield, but some phenols are crazy, have crazy terpenes profiles, and you can just put it in the trash because they don't have sandy trichomes. But yeah, sandy trichomes are much more easier to get off. So it's all about yield too. But
Yeah.
some strains that have sandy trichomes just don't have the good terpenes that you're looking for.
I
So
see.
I don't think that
Yield isn't everything, and when we're talking sandy trichomes, we're talking mostly yield.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think you can have every terpenes profile with sandy trichomes, but I'm a bit convinced. I want some more proof about this, that some lineage and some terpene profiles tends to have some sandy trichomes. Like it's all about the resin composition, and of course it's about the cells making the trichomes itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Like some trichomes are like more attached to the tail, so it's I think it's all about genetics. Always,
Yeah.
always have been. So
Fair enough. I have an interesting question for you. Have you ever tried to drink the water that you use for washing?
no,
You haven't?
I don't like I don't try to drink it, but I had like some splash in my mouth, and it's disgusting.
Well,
Because
I
when
have a
you're-
story here too, but please, yeah.
when you're washing like for I don't know 1 hour with all the wash.
It gets very green also, I
it's really
suppose.
very green, so it's not really
Fair enough.
good to drink. But I think you don't risk a lot by doing it.
Well, the thing is, dude, I washed before with a buddy of mine, and he actually is a chef, and he ended up saving the water because he did have a taste of it and it was really good. And then next time that I visited him, like he made a little drink with it. He put some agave syrup in as well, just to give it a little bit of sweetness. But dude, it was like it tasted exactly like the flower, and
Yeah.
I was really amazed by that. But at the same time, I'm thinking then, okay, I'm washing this plant. I'm tasting the flower exactly basically how I smell it. But that also means that stuff is not in my hash.
Yeah, sure.
So my next question is then, we're making hash, we're washing first to make ice water hash. Like, is the water in here not a solvent, and are we not getting rid of compounds that we would kind of like to have in our hash?
Yeah, you lost terpenes in the water.
So
Like,
why then? Follow-up question. Sorry. Then why do it with water hash? Why are we not using dry sift or
Because
something like that?
water can clean your trichomes. Like, there are some particles that stay around your hash when you are doing dry sift.
Yeah.
You can
Even if
try.
you do static.
If you do static, you can go close to
Yeah. Okay.
water hash quality. But if you put good static and good water hash, good water hash wins.
Yeah.
Water hash wins. Of course.
Can you put your finger on that? Why is it terpier? Is it smoother? Is it what's happening there?
Because static is generally made out of dry sift, and the fact is, dry sift, you lose a lot of terpenes by drying it. Simply, like, you dry your plants and you're making. Of course, you can make frozen out like fresh plants and dry sift out of fresh plants, but it's kind of a lot of new thing. Like, not a lot of people are making good fresh frozen dry sift.
Yeah.
So
because you're working with dry ice then, I suppose, or how does it
dry
work?
ice, or you can just working on really cold lab and detach the trichomes out of it. With, of course, you lose a lot of yield, but you need to dry the ash by after, because the trichomes still have some humidity in it. But I lost my point. About the I wanted to say about the water, that for the water ash, you can still taste a lot in the water, because when you are washing, even more with ice, because some are going iceless, so with just cold water, you have less terpenes in the water without ice, because when you are washing with ice,
agitation,
you are
right?
breaking trichomes, you are breaking cells, of course, because cold can break cells. That's why people are going iceless, because you're going less waste. And of course, if you break a trichome membrane, all the components are going to just spread in the water.
Yeah.
Even if some are not just like miscible in the water, like they don't dilute. It's here. You just go back in your hash like this. Like, you lose terpenes while you are washing, but there are no known techniques to keep 100% of the terpenes set.
Yeah, so my idea was that with dry sift, you had something cleaner than static, taking it a step further. But I guess indeed, if you have to make it already from not fresh, frozen material, then you're losing a lot of terpenes in the drying. Yeah, I didn't really keep that in mind, so it makes sense what you're saying. Indeed.
Actually, I made like at the end of my studies, I made like a research with a PhD about. So it was all about breast cancer, but with CBD and terpenes, and I spent personally like months about comparing dry sift and fresh frozen trichomes to see the loss of terpenes between both, and it went really, really high difference. Like,
interesting.
Both were tried by gas chromatography. So between like dried flowers, then I took off the trichomes, so like basically dry sift, and then I put out the trichomes too, but it was like with hexane. It's easy to extract with hexane.
Yeah.
So I took like fresh flowers and dry flowers with hexane, and the difference in terpenes was like about 3 to 4 times higher in the fresh frozen. So it's really a huge difference.
That is huge, yeah.
Yeah, it's really huge difference. I sadly didn't have enough time to go deeper on the subject, but you can find a lot of research paper about it, and you can see it if you see like ash made from dry material and from fresh frozen. It's a world between both.
Yeah. The moment that you said it, indeed, you had to dry it first. I thought, yeah, of course, indeed, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So that kind of, it does explain. to jump from hash now to breeding. You told me before about like how did you get into this? How did you get into breeding?
I get quite fast into breeding, like maybe after 3 years of growing,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm at this moment I didn't know a lot of good breeders.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not really convinced by what I'm growing here and here. Of course, I was like unexperimented, so I just don't know good breeders at this time. So I just wanted to create something new for me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a lot of things are already done in the breeding market, but I just wanted to create something new. It's all about this,
Mm-hmm.
and I make the same with edge making, with everything. It's just having fun to create something new for me. I just want to try
Yeah.
something,
Mm-hmm.
just want to go to be good in it. If I can't, I just stop it. I just try the hard to do it, and I started breeding like this. I just found a really nice pheno of landrace, because I was like interested in landrace back then. It was like landrace sativa from La Réunion. It's a French island near Madagascar, so
Mm-hmm.
in South Africa.
And how did you get the genetic?
The seeds, classic French, like a seed bank just sold it. Like
Okay.
it was so. You have to trust, of course, the seed bank that
Sure.
if it's a real
Sure,
landrace
yeah.
or so.
Mhm.
But when you grow this strain, you know it's
They're
real
different, yeah,
landrace.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can see it.
Mhm.
It's totally different. Like it was like 120 to 140 days to flower. So crazy long.
That's a
So-
long wait, yeah.
So I just in one of my small box back then, just one of these plants in the back, and I just make 2 flowering session with this plant back, so he can finish his flowering back to 2
Crazy.
new session of flower, and it was like so different. It was like
Yeah.
it was the terps were really like Earl Grey tea, like
Mhm.
real Earl Grey tea, like you not the Lipton of something like this, and I was like amazed to find this type of terps. I was
Mhm.
like, wow, these terps exist in.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it and wanted to just shorten the flowering time, because
Mhm.
it's the point. The flowering time was so long. So I crossed it with a short flowering, so quite short, about 65 days
Mhm.
of flowering. So I get the first generation that was quite good. Still the same terps, same structure, everything. The landrace like was so dominant in the genetics that
Mhm.
it almost erased everything from
Nice. Yeah.
the male that I took
Mhm.
for shortening the flowering time. And then I make a new generation out of another male, but from another strain, from another female, because I take a male from the new cross I made
Mhm.
to even shorten the flowering time. And I get my first official cross that I just started sharing, which is Fristy Tea, which is a cross that go about 70 to 80 days of flowering, which is
Yeah.
quite good
Yeah, that's
in my
doable, yeah.
opinion. A bit long for some people, but it still have these unique terps, or not unique, but really rare terps. It's
Mhm.
really rare. So
I'm also curious. The initial landrace, you say okay, it has really unique terps, but in my experience, the landrace stuff that I've been able to test also in effect is just different from what I'm used to.
yeah,
Do you have any thoughts about that?
when you see everywhere, like in cinema or something like that, people say that sativa makes you crazy, and it's true. This sativa landrace makes you crazy. Like you got really that type of paranoid
Yeah.
if you smoke too much. Hopefully, it's not like a really strong. You need to smoke a fat one to get really paranoid.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's really strong
Mhm.
when you smoke a lot. Otherwise, it's quite balanced. That's a good point, because the landrace is quite balanced normally.
Yeah.
But of course, the flowers of the landrace first were really awful. Some people will never buy this
Of
because
course,
they
yeah,
say,
it looks very different from
"Oh
what
no,
we're
no,
used
it's
to.
really it's foxtail everywhere."
Oh
Like
yeah. Mhm.
just small things that I've really not a lot of trichomes. You can't make ash out of it. Impossible. Oh yeah, maybe 0.1% return.
Worst return ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, but at this point I was not a lot of in ash making, so I just wanted to make good flowers with these terps.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this first cross that I started sharing, so the Free TT, is not made for hash making. You can find phenos that are quite good, but it's a flowering strain. It's a flower strain. You have flower strain, you have ash strain.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and my experience is also the times that I've had landrace. Every time it kind of the same seems to happen because I smoke it, and then I think, oh, I mean, I enjoy it. It's interesting, but I don't feel like like I'm very high from it, you know, or like that I'm feeling a very strong effect. But then I start doing stuff, and every time I catch myself just completely underestimating myself on how strong it is indeed, and then just getting either the craziest laugh attack. Well, I don't know what we call it in English. Like it just,
jiggly.
yeah, just like crazy laughing that I can't stop anymore, or something like that. Usually it's that, and then I feel my eyes burning, and then I think, holy, I'm much more there than I would think that I was.
I like this type of strains that have really different effects.
Yeah, I quite enjoy it as well.
It's not like classic punching your face like a lot of hybrids you find nowadays. You can easily smoke this and feel something different.
Yeah.
Like,
have you ever grown these, had any of these old school haze stuff? So not an amnesia, but kind of like the Neville or something like that?
Yeah, Neville haze and something like this. It's really, really
It's
cool.
also special, right?
Yeah, it's really special, even on the terps, of course, but it's on the effect, you really get something different.
Yeah.
I'm not really old, so all these old haze cross, I'm kind of...
It's kind of before our time.
It's old school. It's old school.
Yeah.
But you can still find some similar ones nowadays. It's hard to find, of course, really classic ones because it's a generation past and you have to cross it.
A lot got lost,
again.
man. Really, a lot got lost. Like,
That's the point, but sometimes it's a bad thing, sometimes it's a good thing. Like.
Also true. Yeah, I wish that we would see a little bit more haze on the market though, but it's very difficult because how are you gonna like sell a plant that has less of a pronounced smell than most of the other stuff? Has to flower for about like at least 50% as long as most other stuff, and it looks less nice. Did I say that right? It looks less nice as well, like compared to the. Like it's just something very different. And how are you gonna price yourself against something that is done quicker, smells stronger, and looks better?
Yeah, that's the point. My second breeding project was with something really close to Ace and Jack Hera, like really old school, and hopefully I found like. It was Taizulu, so it's a cross between South African KwaZulu, so South African landrace, so really...
Basement chuckers, right?
Exactly. Shout out to the man, the man. It's a really nice guy. And so I got these seeds and I found like a crazy pheno that just grow big, enormous collars, like baby arms, really enormous. And with that... ammoniacal citrus terps that really like Jack Hera more than AZ, but they are kind of close, you know, that you get that a bit of tangy out of it. And it's people were smelling it like it reminds me of Jack Hera or haze, and a lot of people are just don't want haze anymore because they smoke haze like for years and years, and new growers and new smokers are more interested in these AZ terps because they don't know what it is. Like I wasn't in the AZ era. It was like 20 years, 30 years ago maybe. So back in the days, it was AZ everywhere in Amsterdam. So old school growers like are not really interested in this, but they're like, oh yeah, it's some really cool AZ here or some really cool Hera terps. So I just try to take this. And I'm actually making a new line out of it, but it's secrets. Okay. Because I want just to bring some terps that I like. I'm not breeding for the money. I don't care. Actually, I don't sell a lot of seeds. I share it in events. Because I make a lot of events, but I'm just here for sharing seeds. It's the point. Just making some terpenes that I like. Of course, if I can, I want to try every type of terpenes, but for the moment, you can do everything.
You're
so
still young, eh?
yeah, I'm still young. I'm still young. So,
All the time in the world. And
Yeah.
who knows how big your space is in 10 years.
yeah, it's small for the moment, but
Yeah.
it can go bigger. And
Will you change your name also then to Grand Box?
yeah, big box.
I had to dig a little bit. What's
Grand
big
box.
again?
Grand box. No, actually, I already have the chance to grow more legally, but I'm still at home with my small home grow. But a lot of my keepers just went in a farm outdoor last year, so we made a lot of good hash, good rosin, good everything. So it's a good way for me to looking for some new things. I was always like blocked by the fact that I want to grow my own. I have to grow my shit. So now that I can just have some of my good cross a bit far, so
Yeah. You have the room to
yeah,
play around instead of
I have
having
some more
to,
room
yeah.
to play, so to play around because
Nice.
it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
Yeah. And you just mentioned events as well. I think not I think, I know that you're involved with Hash and Graph. Can you say something about that or about
Yeah.
just events in general? What that?
Yeah, sure. I started making events with Ash and Graph, right? With Strange Station, which is a good friend of mine, and Ash and Graph. So it's basically collaborative events that just makes ash and graffiti. So I'm a lot of in arts, so I love to paint. I'm not a really good painter of something like this, but my homie Strange Station is really a crazy painter. So
Yeah, I like your stuff as well. Yeah,
yeah, one day we just
cute cats.
it was during Spanibus, like 1 years ago only, like in the last Spanibus. We just said, yeah, let's make a small event during Spanibus, like making like graffiti, smoking hash. It was so just nothing. We don't want to make nothing about it. It was just smoking and make some paintings. So we made it. About 10 people came, but it was so fun. Like we were just painting, smoking, painting, smoking, sharing, and sharing. It's the point. Then we made the second edition in Berlin for the Mary Jane, and there was so many people, like maybe 40 to 50 people.
Nice,
like
yeah.
we was like, it was just a story put and a post made in Instagram, and people just came out. Like not a lot of people actually made graffiti, but a lot of people smoke ash. So
Yeah, fair.
it's very, very nice. And then we make a third edition in Düsseldorf.
Yeah,
You
we
were
were there as well. Yeah.
Plagron was there.
Yeah, yeah, it was a very cool one also, like under the bridge, right? Under the bridge where the train goes over, graffiti making everywhere, just people's, it was
Yeah.
very nice environment, yeah. I can attest to that.
Yeah, and to have all these people connected together just around, of course, the plant and around arts, graffiti, it was really nice because a good point in the Ash and Graph events is it's free. It's free. It will always be free. And if it's not free, it's just a collaborative amount of money to just that everyone brings
for the
to
cost,
create
yeah.
something. We don't want to make any profit out of it because it's a point in the industry and the events. A lot of people just want to make money out of events. So you get some cheap ass event that costs really a lot of money just to enter.
Yeah.
The point with graffiti is that it's outside. Nobody can make you pay for going outside. So you just come, you bring something if you want to bring something.
I like
if
that
you
it's
can bring
yeah.
something, you can bring chairs, tables, food, drinks.
Yeah.
It's just
but it's also a really cool feeling when it comes together like that, right?
Yeah.
With Plagron, we were able to indeed get some chairs there, some sitting bags. I'm not sure if that's an English word, probably not. But indeed, some other guy brought a barbecue and he brought some meat.
Yeah.
Other guy, like it's just everything comes together and it just feels a lot more nice indeed than when you go somewhere, you pay 30 to 50 euros, you get some average pizza or kebab or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have a fun time there, but I would say that this was a bit more special feeling than most other events where I went
Yeah,
to.
because when you go to an event and you pay for the entry, you're like, you
You have
paid for.
expectations also.
Yeah, you have expectation, and you just wait for something, or you, I don't know, the feeling is not the same when in the Ashengraph events everybody is like the same. It's all about being the same. Like, we are here to create a community, like it's community
No
events.
VIP area.
No VIP area. What the no. No, never. There are nothing VIP like, and I think people are looking for this, because when we organized the Eschengraph in Düsseldorf, so many good guys just sent things to give to the people.
Yeah.
Even people that didn't come, they just gave like goodies, seeds, even gummies, everything, just to share to the people, because people want to create something like a community-based events.
Yeah.
Something that just have to do with money. Of course, people want to make like some advertising by sharing this, but as long as it's not made like just to make sales, we're open for it. We're open for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing new planned yet at the moment, right? But
For the Ashengraph?
Yeah, but there's some.
We are slowly creating something, trying to make a new event on the beginning of spring, of course, because we can't invite a lot of people in winter to spray paints on the winter.
Difficult, yeah.
Yeah, because when you smoke outside, you're getting quickly cold.
Yeah,
So,
not worth it.
so yeah, we need to wait the beginning of the spring. And yeah, maybe we're going to make a new events in Germany, because Germany have a lot of good space to make paints, and
nice.
And you can smoke ash now.
Involve us, please.
Yeah,
We're happy to support where we can. Indeed, would love to. Yeah, I love the concept there also with Ashengraph keeping it free, and I do think that it keeps the energy a little bit different than with most other events that we see. Indeed, legalization.
Legalization.
There is like in Europe, there's a lot happening. In America, they've legalized for the most part already. Well, legalized for the most part already. Are there any things that you see happening in the legal landscape? Well, what are the things that you like, and what are the things that you don't like see happening?
On the things that I like, because there are things I like this, is that people are now allowed to grow their own stuff in some countries. In Luxembourg, in Germany, I think. In
Czech Republic, they also allowed now. Yeah, and then you have some countries where it's like on the edge. The Netherlands is like, oh yeah, you're kind of allowed to do 5 plants, but also not really. In Spain, you're kind of allowed to do within your own house, but also not really for own personal consumption. But yeah, it's
but things like for example, for the Luxembourg, okay, 4 plants per adult is not a lot, but even if you do like 5 or 6 or 8. Cops are not going to go in your house and say, "Oh, you have 8 plants." 4 to 8, it's the same.
I actually know one example of it. Sorry to stop you there, but I actually know one example of a dude in Luxembourg that I think he had not more than 10 plants, and he did get caught, kind of unlucky, because he got something in the mail, and with that they wanted to see in his house, and then they find that he has too much plants. That wasn't a huge issue, but he had to pay a hefty fine for it, and he did get some kind of other, like, obviously there's going to be some note on your record somewhere then.
Yeah, you know somebody?
I know him, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was also a really odd situation, because it was just bad luck for him to get caught.
Yeah,
but,
it's really bad luck, because, I mean, if you grow indoors, 4 to 8, 4 to 10...
It's
honestly,
very small.
What's the difference?
You're not doing anything commercially, really, with that. Yeah.
And that's a bad point about legalization, making numbers. Like, I think it will be easier to say like a certain amount of space instead of a certain amount of plants.
Yeah,
because
agree.
It's some people don't like to grow big plants. Some people like to grow small plants. A lot of
Yeah,
And
plant count is really limiting indeed in a lot of ways. You see it in the US, like if there's a plant count, then people are growing completely different than they would in places where there's no plant count.
and another thing is if you are growing indoor in small scale, I don't know what I want to say. I just lost my
I
point.
also don't know what you're
Uh,
growing indoor in small
Wait,
scale.
4, 6, 8.
Legalization, a lot of plants. If you don't know, it's also no worries.
Yeah, I just forget.
Okay. Well,
My brain is.
do you have any
fucking cheese.
other things with legalization that you like or that you don't like?
Yeah.
Indeed, I think that it's really important for me also that there's a place for home growers in
Mhm.
legalization because
I just found back. And the point with the number of plants is that the illegal things in growing should be having a big amount of flowers available to sell. So, like you got in Austria, I think you can grow how many veg plants you want, like
Yeah.
carrots and things. You can.
I think you can even flower them just until the moment where you put the scissors in it. There, like
Yeah.
you.
It's quite funny, but but yeah, I think you should, in my opinion, you should be able to grow how many plants you want. Nobody have to tell you what to grow, what you can grow. But
Mhm.
in our world, let's say that you should you should grow how many veg plants you want and have like a decent amount of flowers, because some people, like for outdoors, just grow big plants and have like huge amount of flowers for 3 to 6 months.
Mhm. Yep.
And indoors it's quite the same thing, but you just go smaller amount
Yeah.
all year long.
Yeah, exactly.
All the point is all about selling and making black markets products.
Yeah, that's what they.
I think everybody should. I lost my words.
Oh, good.
I think everybody should be able to just grow plants for their own production.
Yeah.
Even if it's big amounts of flowers, as long as it's not for selling, just you should be able to make it.
Yeah, I agree. That's
And
a good
on
point.
the bad side on the legalization is when money comes out of it. Like a lot of people from the black market want to make like good products. A lot of people don't want to make good products, of course. But the rec market, we say, for the
Yeah.
legal market,
Mm.
the rec market is about like making big scale, of course, because you have to fill like orders, like coffee shops for Netherlands,
Mhm.
some social clubs in Germany.
Yeah.
You have to feel people need, like you have to grow enough, and the problem with scale is loss of quality.
Yeah.
In Netherlands, with the new
Experiments. Yeah.
with your new experience, you get some really nice products. You get really nice hash, nice flowers, but of course there's something lost in,
Mhm.
because they have to make big scale. It's like
Yeah.
you can find in the US warehouse, like they have to grow big scale to fill all the orders. So you lost something here.
Yeah, I agree. Indeed, at scale, you're not going to be able to put out the quality that you would be able when you have small rooms. But yeah, it's a trade-off that.
But I think the Netherlands made a good thing to just going smaller and smaller. Like they are making like a small experiment. They are going bigger and bigger. But the way that they start making it, and of course a lot of good growers and ash makers from the black markets went to the rec market. So
Mhm.
the quality is quite good for rec market products.
I have mixed feelings about it because I'm not. I think there's people putting out really good quality, but I'm also disappointed with some other producers, and it's still from the ones that are putting out good quality. Not everything is as good. What I will say is that I think that in general, I've been disappointed a lot going to the coffee shops in the last 10 years. And now when I go to the shop, I know what I can get and I won't be disappointed. So I think that is a big step up. And I'm also really happy that there's finally extracts available that are pretty good quality
Yeah.
and for pretty fair prices. I think
Yeah.
that is also a big step.
Honestly, I think the price is really fair for the quality. Like you can always find like better quality by small
Of course.
scale hash makers, but you have to pay more, and it's normal. But I think the coffee shops quality for extracts are really nice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In some coffee shops, I didn't try everything, of course, because I'm not going a lot in Netherlands. But when I go there and I try some coffee shops that have the new experiment, I'm quite happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Even more for extract
nice.
because I'm not a flower smoker, but yeah, for
course, yeah.
extract I'm not really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes, man. From here, one big thing is also that we're missing the traditional hash now. We don't have that anymore, and it seems to be more of a problem with the old school smokers rather than the new school smokers. The new schools are shifting over to the dry sift and stuff, but it is a different price.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
But
needs some adjusting, I guess.
To be honest, it's my opinion, but I think new hash are better. No,
It's cleaner for sure.
It's cleaner.
I think you're
Of
probably
course, you
right.
can find really nice hash that not
But
100% clean. No hash is 100%
But you have to
clean.
accept that some people also just like smoking camel poop.
Sure. And and I'm totally fine with it. You can smoke whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I'm that type of guy that just want to go for the cleaner, for the better. Of
I
course, you
understand
can
that.
find some really nice hash that not rather water hash, or you can find like finger hash or Shiraz that is really crazy, even better. That's a lot of water hash you can find on the market. But I don't know. I think sadly a lot of hash are gonna just disappear, or
Likely, yeah.
just old school growers keep doing it.
At the same time, there is also legalization, sort of a legalization in hash production in Morocco now, right? So that it doesn't seem like it's going to be something that will disappear. I think the only thing that needs to be figured out there is like how are we going to take care of import and stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of hash makers and farms in Morocco now just making frozen or dry sift too, because they know that it sells.
Yeah, it's the future, yeah.
It sells, so they're making it. It's not really hard to make good dry sift, honestly. It's the easiest hash to make, dry sift.
Yeah.
Of course, finger hash is even more easier, but clean hash, dry sift, it's so easy to make. If you have good plants, of course.
It all starts at the plant, yeah.
It's all start with good material.
And it ends with a rapid fire question, or with a couple rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
So we have first choice. We'll go through the rapid fires and then we'll do that quickly, rapid fire quickly, and then we'll jump back to them and get a little bit more deep in there. Then.
Okay.
But first one, cuts or seeds?
Seeds, because you need seeds to make cuts.
That's a good point. Terps or yield?
Terps.
That was an easy one, I think. Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Yeah, okay. Hash or flower?
Hash.
I kind of knew that already too. Then most underrated aspect of growing for you?
Whoa, this one is difficult. More underrated. Pheno hunting.
Okay, fair.
Pheno hunting.
And then one thing that every grower should try?
Ash making.
Yeah, fair enough. And if they have any questions, they can contact you. And if they have any questions on how to do it, they can contact you.
Yeah, sure. Just write me on Instagram.
Yeah.
I want to share the knowledge.
If the local neighborhood hash maker doesn't want to share it, yeah.
Yeah, just ask me what you want to know about hash making. I just want to share everything. I just want to share. I want to see beautiful hash everywhere. Of course, beautiful flowers. I can give you tips on flower, but
Of course.
I
No,
want
fair.
to see ash everywhere.
I like it, man. Yeah, so cuts or seed is pretty easy. You kind of explained it already. You need seeds to be able to run cuts. But if you could only run cuts or only run seeds from now on, what would it be then?
Seeds.
Because the breeding then that you want to be able to keep doing, or
because
But
if
then-
in a world where you can keep cuts,
yeah, right.
you
that
can
becomes
find
the next
seeds,
issue.
cross it between,
Yeah.
and
Have the next
try
generation
to
and
keep
play
it.
something. Yeah.
Try to keep it. But if you go all cuts, you can create something new. You need to create something new.
Yeah.
You need to find something. Seeds is the pheno hunting is the best part of growing. That's what I said about every show should try. Every grower should try pheno hunting. A lot of people just
Hash making.
hash making. But
Every
pheno
grower
hunting.
should try hash making, and the
Yeah.
most underrated aspect was pheno hunting.
Yeah, it's the most because I see a lot of new growers and a lot of old growers just buying fam seeds or buying cuts from here. So it's all the same. Everybody grows the same.
Yeah. I see
Like
what you
good
mean.
looking that have like medium, like it's not dank. It's
Yeah.
not dank. It's just badly smelling all the same.
Fair enough.
So seeds.
Terps or yield was pretty self-explanatory, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's
terps.
all about terps.
Terps above everything. Of course, for small home growers, I am a small home grower, but I would always prefer making big terps than big yields because I'm growing for myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to,
You
know,
want to have enough to smoke, not more than enough to smoke.
yeah, I have enough to smoke. I'm not a guy that smoke like dabs on dabs every day, all day. So I have enough for me to smoke and,
I can
terps
dig
above
it.
everything.
Yeah. Indoor, outdoor, you kind of said in the podcast already itself, right? Outdoor, just more full expression of the plant, right?
Yeah, it's kind of linked to the terps or yield. Like
Yeah.
outdoor, if you have like really good weather, you can have really big yields outdoor, of course. But terps is always better outdoor for hash because for flowers it's kind of different because you can have cleaner flowers indoor, of course.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Hash or flower, I didn't even need to ask you that because you made that very clear already.
Yeah, I
But
don't smoke a lot of flowers in now, but
maybe at some point you started making hash, and that is also the point where you stopped smoking more flower, or was there a gradual shift
no,
there?
I was a big flower smoker for a long time. Uh, only flowers, like no tobacco. That's an important point. I stopped tobacco like almost the same time I started growing. I started growing enough because, as I said, I'm not a huge smoker. I smoke like almost every day, of course, but I just like smoke one or something like this, or just sharing with friends. But the point is, smoking flowers is really nice, but when you are just starting to make hash making, and I started like hash making, like I said, 7 years ago or something like this. At the beginning, you don't make really nice hash. It's cool hash, but back then, you have to smoke a joint. You can smoke a full joint of water hash, so you have to put flowers. So I was still in flowers, and then I started making rosin, and that's the point where I just flipped to extracts. Rosin just flipped me into extract because you can smoke rosin in joints, but let's be honest,
right?
such a waste.
Yeah.
When you have fire rosin, you smoke it in good rig. You need to have a good rig. When you have it, you say, yeah, why should I smoke flowers when I can smoke good extractions?
I have all the good stuff right here.
Yeah, all the good stuff is here.
Yeah, that makes sense. So most underrated aspect, pheno hunting.
Yeah, because that's what I said. It's all about finding something original.
Yeah.
Like people just
Yeah,
buy the same genetics, the same cuts everywhere, and the best part of the plant is the diversity. Like there are so many terps range that you can find, that you can even create or find back if you cross something. Pheno hunting is the point. Just it's so satisfying to pop seeds, and out of all the seeds you find like something really outstanding.
Yeah.
There are nothing better than that. And it's even better when you take this outstanding pheno and making ash out of it.
Yeah, I can dig that too. One thing every grower should try. I forgot already what you said. Help me. It's been
Hash
a long
making.
podcast. Hash making, yeah. Ah, yeah, fuck
Of
yeah.
course.
Of course. There's a nice closer also.
And that's the point. every grower should try hash making. I know everybody's
See if it
made
for
for
them,
this.
basically, yeah.
You need to love this to make hash making, but it's interesting to try because it's really the way to find the full expression of the plant, in my opinion.
And where would you suggest people start?
I'm a huge fan of water hash, of course, but a good way to start is to use like your popcorns bud or your trim and making some dry sift, because you can still have some decent products with it. Dry sift is a really nice
It's
and
a nice
easy
way to
way
get
to
in.
go into the
Yeah,
hash
yeah, yeah.
making. And if you want it enough, you can try to make water hash. And I suggest everybody to make water
Yeah.
hash, but I'm not really objective about it.
Fair enough. Cool, man. Then I thank you very much for being here, and I thank everybody else for watching. And yeah, I'll see you at the next Hash and Graph for sure.
Sure, thank
Cheers, man.
Plagron.
Yeah, thank you.